Hello there, welcome back to our Williams speedrun. We have completed what I set out as the original goal, which was to win the championships for both championships. We've done that. So I'm gonna do a third season here, mostly because I want to test a few things out with research and see how if we maybe are able to max some expertise. Basically see just how good can we make the car. I'm also tempted to see if we can make something work with the new gens slash regens. Basically how new drivers are going to come into the game. And to do that, we're going to keep on trying to upgrade every single facility to maximum. Basically, we're going to try and go full end game here, if you will. So with that in mind, we need to go finances here and have a quick look, because I'm actually curious about this myself. How much money did we spend last season and what did it go to? So as you can see, we spent 50 million developing the car. We spent 10 million on car part research. And that's basically most of our expenses here. And if we add in the emergency purchases as well, kind of goes under that, to be fair. Most of the expenses that we incurred were the car and just facilities. The rest of the expenses barely make a 5 million here, like 3.5, 4, 4.2 maybe, tops. So we have a lot of remaining cost cap to go on. So we're also going to try and see if we can reach that cost cap and see if the game actually has a penalty for doing so. So again, the goal here will be a little bit changing. We'll see if we can, of course, max a driver potentially down the line. But yeah, we're gonna do one more season. So if you have enjoyed this series so far and want to see more, please subscribe and like the video. It really helps me out. I'm very grateful if you would do so. Thank you. And let's get let's get into it. So again, goal will be to try and maximize facilities, see if we can do some funny things with the cost cap, and maybe, just maybe, get a new gen driver in. So with that, let's start new season. Welcome to new season. Time to review the CA regulation, the engine, and obligations. So let's just get the sponsor obligations out of the way. We're gonna merchandise as much as we can. It's more money. Again, preseason cost is higher. That is perfectly okay. Race sim, we'll go with 15 because, honestly, again, money isn't something we need to be concerned about. Decreasing the pit crew performance, if we can avoid it, we will. That one's good. And once again, Duhan is going to be the sacrificial lamb here for driver experience gain. Excuse me. I assume this is passive experience gain, so it might not be a very bad idea to, you know, if you lack money for the first couple of seasons and you're sticking with the old drivers, to just go full on media appearances. It might not be the worst idea ever. We completed our goal for last season. We'll have to see what the new one is. In terms of balance, we are looking good here. We are paying the entry fee, we have board payments, the sponsor funding, the pre-lump sum. So preseason, we have made 18 million. And as you can see, the regulation changes was mostly into cooling and airflow. And generally, I think we came out on top on everything, but underfloor, we lost a bit of airflow sensitivity. Gained some drag reduction expertise though. So that is good. So as you can see, expertise from research. Now, I don't know if I mentioned this earlier, but expertise when it comes to low speed, medium speed, and high speed downforce is different from drag reduction and other stats. Like this expertise goes up to 100%. In the case of high speed, medium, and low speed downforce, they go up to, for medium and low speed, they go up to 2.00. So basically, this would translate to 1%. And in this case, high speed goes up to 100. So this would also be 1%. So yeah, it's a good gain. In terms of suspension, we actually made it a little bit on the airflow, lost some on the braking. But in general, I'd say we did pretty good making up for the regulations. In terms of the cost cap, we didn't, financial, nothing's changed. Sporting, we have the new rules back to the old point system, with the exception of a pole position getting a bonus point and double points for last race. So everything's looking good there. Now we are going to stick with the same old engines. They are doing well. Again, I really hope we start to get some, well, later on at least, once they got a few updates in. Maybe some randomization here to make it more interesting. but we'll stick with Red Bull. It's the most powerful engine. It's doing its job well for us. We could also maybe try something else, like say Renault engine, although it has lacking gearbox durability. DRS durability also isn't the best, so fuel efficiency, we could try some shenanigans there, but I think the Red Bull engine is just the best choice, personally. But again, that is mostly just to my personal preference. It's not set in stone, if you will. So this is our current car. This was how it performed under 2023 rules. And this is how it performs now. So we gained a little bit in top speed. We gained some acceleration. Decent amount of low speed Gs, honestly. Pretty good in terms of cornering. Yeah, DRS got a huge boost as well. All in all, pretty good. We lost a little bit of brake cooling, but we gained a little bit of engine cooling in exchange. So not the worst trade-off. New ATR period. Team roster. Let's see if there's any funny moves. Ferrari's okay. Red Bull's okay. Mercedes is okay. Ricciardo has gone to Alpine. Schumacher to Alfa Romeo with Gasly. Now, who has kidnapped Bottas? Is that McLaren, maybe? Another Magnussen, Vettel, Stroll. Albon. Yep. McLaren has kidnapped Bottas. That's a bit of an interesting one. New regulation, in fact. Car report. I think we're ready. But before we get going, we might want to switch out our technical chief. Or we might not. So the way that these stats here work, I'll just quickly go through them, is that I believe 10 points equals half a percentage. So each point I put into this will give 0.05% attribute boost to the part in question. Now what that means is that if I had been clever, I would have maximized underfloor early on, because the underfloor gives the most stats all around. That's just how simple it is. So an extra 0.5% in underfloor is worth way more than 0.5% anywhere else. It's just me being silly and wanting to keep things balanced. So that's on me. But in terms of this, cooling is not something we really will focus on. We are lacking a bit in low speed downforce. We are lacking a bit in drag reduction. So we'll try and get these two up for the bear. And in terms of race engineers, again, we're just going to stick with pit crew management. I feel like that is the best one. Nathan Jago becomes 79. Excuse me. So that is good. Now, I am considering if we want to switch out the technical chief, because I believe it maxes at 5% maybe. I'm a little bit unsure actually where it maxes on. So if we go to scout for key staff here, technical chief, overall rating. Bakke is currently the one with the highest rating. He's also fairly young if you compare his rating to the rest of the grid here. And his contract actually, I believe, runs out this year. So he wouldn't be super expensive to pick up. It's the cost of breaking the contract that Vac currently has. Sorry. The Maison. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that. I butcher it. So we're going to kidnap one of Red Bull's people here, and we're going to try and give him a contract like this, maybe. And again, it's gonna be a cost, but as you saw from last season, the staff cost is just so small. Now this won't be a huge increase. Like as we just went through, 10 points would be most likely just again, half a percentage point, 0.05% times 10. So it's just a half a percentage point in attributes, but I feel like the investment is worth it at this point. We have reached a point where it would probably be beneficial. He has actually accepted. It's going to cost us 3 million to switch him out. And of course, this is also going to be a bigger expense in the long run, but I feel like it's time to upgrade our staff a little bit at least. So we have kidnapped this man. He is pretty good all around, but we're going to try and max his underfloor and see if it's actually a full 5% you get when you max it. We'll have to see. Now, in terms of aerodynamics, we could try and pick up Balbo here, but we're not going to do that just yet. And the reason for that is he has a 3-year contract. He has a 6 million buyout fee, and the bear here is the second best one. So it would cost us at the very least 10 million to switch him out. But we will probably pick him up probably next season, just on the basis that the bear is starting to get... I don't know why I call him bear instead of beer. I should probably Google and consult what his actual name is, but he is getting older. He might retire. I don't know how it works with staff. We'll have to see. But we'll probably end up upgrading probably next season or the season after. It says he has 1 year left on his contract, but what that means is he has this year and then next year. It would say months if it's was this year he had left, so that is good. Again, race engineers, I am not too miffed, and as you can see, most of them aren't even interested. So we aren't too worried. In terms of the pit crew here, we're gonna go ahead and increase a little bit on car release here. Try and bring it up to in line with the other two. And again, wing adjustment is the one thing that we just won't focus on at all. Now with that said, we have got most of our things done. We have replaced our technical chief, so we're good there. We can finally start developing car parts. So we'll try and do everything that we usually do before a season. Underfloor is, again, always the #1 priority. It's just how things are. And we are going to go full maximum. All the sliders to the right, as we usually do. And here's the thing. This should be okay. It's a pretty decent boost already. But I believe that the research that we did, the increase in expertise, hasn't been completely conveyed. So the first piece you make each season is the most important one, in all honesty. As you can see here, we actually have this very small problem, and that is that our Bahrain Grand Prix is in 74 days. This would be 75. So we're going to have to go a little bit down on, I think, the airflow sensitivity. We're going to do 73 days, just so we can guarantee that we can get it made. 74 days should be fine, because that's when the race weekend starts. But we're going to go with 74 days and an extra engineer on this project for that. So let's get that underfloor project started. It should be okay. The next important thing, of course, is the railing. That should be our second focus almost every time. And again here, we're just gonna max everything. We don't have any extra hours to put into this, but that's fine. Now, in terms of our new technical chief, there we go. He is actually giving us quite a significant boost compared to, our previous one. 0.6%. So here you can see how it calculates the attributes. After you put in the focus, you have the head of aerodynamics. That's a static one. Goes up a skill. Technical chief, also static, goes up a skill. Wind tunnel, CFD. But also, again, design focus, how your design focuses attribute to the stats themselves. And you can check that for every stat, so it's pretty good. Now, again, we're going to go intense. It's just not worth going anything else. It's just going to be there forever, really. Now, rear wings are quick to produce, so we're just going to go with 4 engineers here. It should be able to make them, I believe, they're 3 days each. So that'll be good for the first Grand Prix. We're going to wait a little bit with front wing, I think. We have a very good front wing compared to the rest of the grid, if I remember. So what we are going to do is make a chassis, because it takes a long time to manufacture. And we're going to put 5, go intense. There we are. And suspension. We're going to get suspension going first, I think, because we might make 2. We'll have to see. Might just make 1, might make 2 suspensions before the season. We'll have to see what we have time for. But with that, we should have all our design projects covered. And we can actually have a quick look here now how our current car is looking as a Ferrari. First, Ferrari still has a slight edge in top speed and acceleration, but we are winning out in everything else, especially in cornering, so we're good there. If we get ahead, we will stay ahead. Red Bull has a bit more of an advantage. They have actually the DRS speed advantage on us. That's quite excessive. Same with top speed and acceleration, even more so than Mercedes. Sorry, not Mercedes, Ferrari. Mercedes is the next team we'll have a look on, and they actually rivals us in acceleration. So that's an interesting way to look at things. But yeah, that is basically most of preseason done, I think. We have things planned out. We still have 15 million. And with that, as I said, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade the scouting department. Because I believe we haven't seen any new gens so far. I've been trying to look every now and again, but this list seems pretty set on its ways. Spearmen don't really move any positions up or down. So what I am assuming is that, you know, we haven't had a single new gen or regen driver, if you will. So currently, Fernando Alonso is actually a free agent. See, Hulkenberg, Aitken, Latifi, Fittipaldi. Yeah. So we'll have to see that if maybe New Gens is locked behind a facility building. I haven't bothered Googling it. We're just going to upgrade everything anyways to see how things work out for us. Bit my tongue there. Sorry about that. Again, boardroom. I don't think we're going to bother. The weather center. Again, we can see what the final one is. I think we can live with just 90% for now. Hospitality, should we upgrade that? It's an extra 1.2 million in a year in upkeep. So I think for now, this is what we will be happy with. And we'll develop the wind tunnel when we get an opportunity. Now, the wind tunnel itself might not be really worth it because of the gain. The same actually for the CFD simulator. So I really hope there's a way to downgrade these later. But for now, we'll go ahead and leave them as they are. Memorabilia room has been refurbished. Good. Just double checking that we actually are producing all the parts we want to. We are. Good. With that in mind, we're welcoming our new technical chief, and the refurbishment has been completed, which is good. With this, tour center has been refurbished too. Factory, poor condition. We might want to do something with this sooner rather than later, but for now it's okay. Car part test center in poor condition. Again, we don't care about cooling. It might have an effect, but it's not a very big one. So for now it's okay. Now, yeah, there we go. 2 parts incoming very shortly. The chassis has been completed. Race sim in poor condition. That's 4.6 million though. Yeah, let's do it. We'll do it for our driver's sake. It's quite an expensive one though, to be honest. But the chassis design has been completed. We'll manufacture 4, normal mode. We'll just get it done. And we will of course start a new project. That project will be the front wing, I think. And we should have the front wing then ready for the second race most likely. That is what we'll be going for. So again, we're maximizing everything except for cooling. And we will go intense. 56 days. We'll have to swap an engineer over maybe if we feel the need, but 56 days is okay. It's 9 days after the first GP, so we'll definitely have it for the third worst case scenario. And that should be perfectly okay. Next here is the suspension design. Has been completed. Let's go ahead and manufacture 4 suspensions, which should be more than enough. And we'll start also a new project, which will be the side pods. Again, the first thing we focus on each season, at least for me, is trying to get 1 iteration of each upgrade in. As you can see, the upgrade here is pretty good. I kind of been speedrunning it a bit, apologies for that. But generally, we'll be going over every upgrade after they've been manufactured, and we put them on the car before the first race. So don't worry about that. We'll be going through them all. Intense as usual. It's just the best way to live your life currently. But the concern is, of course, that it makes the game a bit too easy. Scouting department has been upgraded. Let us go ahead and continue that to at least level 4. And yeah, let's continue. Facility refurbished, that should be the race sim. Upgrade, that should be the CFD, I'm guessing. For share development, let's put some points in for him. And here's the thing, since we're moving time so quickly, these guys actually keep on getting points. But I really wish the game would tell you earlier. So these are all pretty important, I dare say. So I think we're just going to do them kind of equally. I haven't looked too much into what is most effective, which might be, you know, a bad thing, but that's okay. Race center has been refurbished. And yeah, there we go. CFD simulator has been upgraded. So I'm looking kind of, I'm going to be kind of curious here, and I'm wondering how we are going to look when we get to the end of the season in terms of, you know, money. But I think we'll be okay. Suspensions have been manufactured. Really good. And we're about to get the preseason testing results. Now, these won't reflect our car because we haven't put on any new parts. Because we are lazy like that. Welcome to the 24 season. Testing results were still top in cornering. Good on acceleration. Lacking a bit in top speed and, of course, in cooling. Which is, you know, to be expected, in all honesty. Rear wing design has been completed. Very good. We are going to go ahead and manufacture 4 of those. And we're also going to go ahead and develop new car part. So what we will do, I'm thinking, is once we get to the next period of ATR or aerodynamic testing, ADR, we're going to go ahead and put that into the rear wing. I think we're going to make another suspension. Maybe not. Yeah, let's make another suspension. It's a quick project. Again, we're not going to put any aerodynamic testing hours into suspension ever, so just building them normally should be okay. Let's go intense. It's going to take 30 days. We can live with that. So getting closer now to the Bahrain Grand Prix. Side pods have been completed. Can we create them in time? Is a big question. ATR period starts today. And the side pods themselves, I don't think we'll make them in time. Yeah, it'll take 10 days. So we could manufacture one normally. Sorry, rushed. And then emergency the other one to get them in time. And I think we're going to do that. So let's do that. And again, go to warehouse, go to side pods. And we're going to manufacture one in the rush mode. And then I'll have to remember to put in 2 on normal mode later on, so we make sure we have enough side pods for everything. Now, as you heard, there's a new ATR period, and I'm thinking that we put that into the rear wing. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Now, in terms of the stats here, they're not. This upgrade is not what we will be getting. We already made one rear wing, but again, I feel like it's fair enough to put some ATR into rear wing. We're going to put the rest of our ATR into the excuse me, the next ATR period after this one into the front wing. So that's perfectly fine. But we have been using a lot of money already. If we look at the cost cap here projected, we are going to spend 48 million on facilities. We already spent 35 million on car development, so we're definitely spending a lot of money, and the cost cap might actually force us to go design, sorry, not design, research at the end of the season with our time, because we just don't have money left over. So here is the test. It's the same one we saw earlier. We haven't put any parts on. The manufacture of the sidepod has been completed. So with that, let's remember. That looks like a lie. I manufactured a normal sidepod because I'm a donut. Okay, that explains it. So we ended up emergency manufacturing them anyways because I am a donut, as you can see. So yeah, someone was probably yelling at me there. I apologize. There we go, the underfloor. And again, we're just going to emergency make 2 underfloors because I feel like it's worth it, so we can get a proper look at the car. It's going to cost us 1.5 million, but again, that's something we can live with. With that in mind, we have chassis, we have rear wing, we have side pods, we have underfloor, and we have suspension, all ready for the first race in Bahrain. We're just missing the front wing, and we'll have a completely new car. So first, we'll have a look at the chassis. On the right there, you can see the stats. And in all honesty, to me, that looks pretty good. all around. Decent amount of extra speed and acceleration, even under, as you can see, DRS. The turning, a little boost, but that always helps. But the main thing is speed, so we'll put that on the car. Again, we didn't make any front wing. The rear wing here, as you can see, is again very good. So even if we put all those hours into the rear wing, it might not actually be that much of a gain. We'll have to see here. So we'll fit this rear wing on the cars. Excuse me. And the sideboards, again, that's also a very decent speed gain for both. A little bit of acceleration as well. Very, very nice. Underfloor, this is the big one. As you can see, this is a huge upgrade. 2.6% of low speed dirty air cornering. But in general, we running clean air, so these are the stats we care about. I don't know what these actually max out at. That's the thing. But it's still a very good upgrade. We bring our speed up quite a lot. And lastly, suspension. Which also is actually quite a decent upgrade. So with all these parts, let's have a quick look here. We end up with a top speed at 376.17. Decent amount above grid average. Acceleration also. Alright. We are slowly getting to the maximum here of the acceleration we can reach under DRS. Which is really good. But again, the only thing we're really lacking on in cooling. Let's have a look compared to Ferrari. We now beat them in everything. And our top speed is quite a lot higher than theirs. Everything is quite a lot higher. So this looks like it's going to be a dominating car from the get-go. We are a little bit ahead of Red Bull. So yeah, we basically have a very, very dominating car from race 1 here. So as I said, we might end up in a situation where we'll end up deciding as soon as the first regulation comes out. But yeah, I think we're ready then for the first race weekend. The only thing we need to really do here is upgrade our drivers. We'll get that done quickly. And yeah, I think we are looking to be good here. Porsche has finally hit 80 reactions. I'm wondering if he will be able to overtake Duhan in overall this season. And sorry, I had a little... Someone came into the room. And other than that, what else do we want to check? I completely forgotten about the board. Let's have a quick look at the board confidence here. We're aiming at being first, and our long-term objective is to win the championship within 3 seasons. So the board has fixed their expectations of us. In terms of our profile, we can have that. Seasons as team principal. This would be the first season too. So our run as William has been pretty good here. Grand Prix entries have been 44. We have 19 wins. We have 37 podiums. And as you can see, both drivers on a podium counts as 2. So this doesn't mean that we only ran 7 races where we did not get a podium. We have a lot more. In terms of points scored, 446. This will go up quite a bit this year, I think. So yeah, things are looking good. Now, I don't think there's anything else I need to check before we begin. Monthly balance, maybe. As you can see, monthly balance is estimated to be 7.8 million. So we still have a really healthy economy, if you will. So that's good. But yeah, the cost cap here is going to be very interesting to see if we maybe reach it and maybe break it, just to see what the punishment will be. Yeah, this should be a rather chill season for us. Again, we're going to be focusing on seeing if we can get some scouting done, figure out the nutrient system. I need to check what we actually have to work with. Of course, develop our staff a bit, drivers a bit more. Piastri is starting to get there. He's 90 here, but we're going to have to boost his racecraft down the... Well, here's the thing. With our current car, racecraft is actually worthless for us. Consistency and pace are the stats that we want because our car is so good. So, yeah, things are looking really, really good, honestly. Let's get on to the race weekend. Rear wing has been manufactured. Good. And I think we're ready. First race of the season. Let us set up the goal here. both drivers in top 5 should be doable. And both drivers into Q2 should definitely be doable too. Finish position, 1 driver top 2. Let's go with that one, play it safe in case we crash out. We have had some bad luck whenever I've been overly ambitious. Let's go with finish position. Top 5 should be safe. 1 driver, 5 races, or should we go top 3? As you can see, yeah, we're getting a little bit less money than last year, so let's go with that one. 1 driver, top 3 for 5 races should be okay. And with that, I think we're ready to start the season. Thank you for watching this preseason opening. I hope you have enjoyed. It's been a lot of fun. Again, this video is going to be a little bit shorter because it's the preseason. The rest of the season is going to be cut in 2 again. I might make some extra videos in case that I figure out something with research, figure out something with scouting, or generally just anything that can be qualified as a guide on its own. Might make a couple of those, we'll have to see. But yeah, it's been a good journey so far with Williams. I've had a lot of fun. But I was wondering if people might think that once the team becomes too good, it might become a bit boring. That's why I was considering starting a realistic series. But I'm going to be doing this at least 30 seasons with Williams, and then we'll see where we are at after that. So thank you again to everyone who is watching. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed, everyone who liked the video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and do so. It helps me immensely, and I'm very grateful if you do. So yeah, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and I do hope to see you around next time. Bye bye.